Welcome to the Driven Moms Answering Adversity interview series, stories of success through setbacks from Mom Elevated. Together, we can shine a light on how normal challenges and struggles are, along with how we can overcome and rise above them. And today, I'm so excited. We have Carly here to share her story with us, and I'm so looking forward to this one. So, Carly, would you mind sharing just a little bit about your story for us briefly?
Okay, well, I'm going to start with where I was about 2.5 years ago. All right. So, first of all, in 2019, I had decided that I wanted to start my own business. There was a lot of passion for what I was helping moms with. I had seen the transformations. I basically help moms who have had previously traumatic birth experiences go on to experience true natural birth. As natural as possible, the power of their own body without anybody touching them, telling them what to do. It's just one of those things that they're like, "Oh my God, my body works. I was never broken. I have my power." And they end up with these connected, beautiful families. And I wanted to do that. The thing is, I didn't know how to start a business. A lot of people told me it was going to be too hard. And here's the secret that many people didn't know is that I was in an emotionally abusive, narcissistic relationship. And I had been in that since I was 23 years old. He had started off telling me that I could have done anything and that I was this amazing person. And then slowly he chipped away at my self esteem. I myself happen to be a very strong, independent woman. I was very much thinking a girl can do anything she wants when she grows up. And then somehow I just ended up in this relationship that was the exact opposite of whatever I thought I would ever be in. Like thinking that you're this strong, powerful person and then secretly being undermined and told you're no good and being afraid to leave. So this is where I was. And in 2019, he had an affair with a friend of mine that I had built up because I loved her and supported her. She had low self-esteem, but she went after my partner and he got her pregnant. And then I had to leave, but I still had that trauma bond. And soon after the separation, which was about a month after he'd left, it was very volatile. My house burned down. So I was back to relying on him again because I didn't have anybody else to take care of things. I had no resources. I had just spent a lot of my savings trying to keep me and my kids afloat during the separation. And I just knew one thing though, I could not go back to the way things were. I'd had this same experience with my empowered birth of my daughter, recognizing, you know what, I can never go back in the box. I need to create a business. Well, this was an even bigger level of that. It's like, I can't go back to the way things are. I have now seen him for who he really is. And I just have to do this, but I'm going to build myself up and I'm going to watch him the whole time. So over 2020, when everything shut down, and moms were panicking about losing their jobs and what's this going to be for the future. And birth was getting heavily controlled, and there were women going into hospitals without support. I saw the opportunity to do something that I had never really had the idea that I was going to do. And that was start an actual business. For years, helping moms, I was told, you should start a business. And I said, "Oh, I don't know how to do a podcast. I don't know how to speak on camera." And I'm speaking on camera. So, I got over that. But I was very shy. And I used to be behind the scenes and I didn't want to put myself out there. But first of all, when your partner has a baby with another woman and has to now pay child support for that baby, you see the writing on the wall. It doesn't matter how much money he makes, it's not going to my children. So I knew it's like, not only do I have to start a business, but I have to be able to build an empire so that I can be able to sustain my family and be able to give my children what they need for advantages, because he's not going to give it to us. And I'm going to be ending up on my own, and I need to be able to work from home so that I don't end up working 3 jobs and trying to balance single motherhood and have no time for myself. Because that was another reason I didn't want to leave. It's because you hear all these stories about being a single mom, how much harder it is, and how you have to give up on your dreams. And this dream that I had made such an impact for women already. They were always coming to me and saying, you changed my life that day. You made me feel like I could actually do this when everybody else said I couldn't. You believed in me, and I was able to do this because you believed in me. I was able to see my power. I would have had another C-section if it wasn't for you. Thank you. So I knew that what I was doing really mattered to a lot of people. And I also knew that I couldn't quit. I couldn't just go off and work a regular job and give up on this dream. It was too important. So it's like, okay, I have to stay in this relationship to keep this dream. And then my mentors came to me, and I ended up finding these people who taught me marketing. So I learned marketing within 2 years. I'm now in a high level community of coaches, but more importantly than that, even though these people are incredibly successful and they're standing for my growth and power, they're just the most amazing, incredible people I've ever met. They just have this heart. And being in that environment I'm happier than I've ever been. I left my partner in 2021 in the summertime when I thought that it was going to take 2 more years of building up my business to leave him. I was able to break away from that trauma bond very quickly. And now I have written 4 books now. They're ebooks. They're on my website. They're just PDFs at the moment, but I'm going to be putting them on Amazon. And I have trainings. I have coaching clients. I have amazing transformational stories of these moms who have gone and had these amazing empowered births where they were told, you're too old, you're too fat, you have gestational diabetes, you have high blood pressure. There's no way you can have a vaginal birth, let alone a completely natural one. And they've done it. Some of them have even done it in the hospital with nobody touching them. So I had to get these stories out there. Now I've built a YouTube channel over the summer. I did that. There's over 100 videos. And I have my social media and Instagram and Facebook. And I'm just building this community. It's still growing. And I can see the growth potential. And it's just been an incredible journey so far. And I know there's so much more.
That's so beautiful. I can't even that's a huge like, in such a short amount I think what's so amazing to me about being able to interview all of you amazing women is just knowing, like, in such a short amount of time, how drastically different you've made your lives. Because, I mean, that's only a couple of years. I mean, yes, obviously, there was since you were 23, all of that culminated to that point. But in that short span of time, you were able to overcome so much and just have so much belief in yourself and your dream and what's possible. I think that's the most amazing thing about hearing all of your guys' stories is just tapping into that energy and feeling that from you and seeing, because I can imagine back in even 2020 when all of that was happening and then to now where you're just like exuding all of this happiness, joy, and the impact that you're able to have is huge. I love that. I love being able to feel that on this side of the screen as well. So, in the course of that, though, what would you say the biggest adversity is that you had to overcome, and how did you answer that amidst all of it?
I would say the biggest adversity was internal for me. It was being able to see that I didn't actually need outside validation in order to be what I am, to be myself. And when you're in an abusive relationship, all it is them invalidating your experience over and over and over again, the gaslighting. So I would have this experience of, this doesn't feel right. And he'd say, oh, it's in your head. Or he'd say, I'd never say that. I actually got to the point where I would record him without him knowing. And it wasn't even as evidence yet. It was just, did I overreact? Am I really crazy? Am I really not doing this right? I had gone into that relationship. I'd never been in a committed relationship before. I'd lived with my dad. So it was sort of, from Sound of Music, you wait little girl in an empty stage, that whole thing, you are 16 going on 17. Like that was basically it. He was 2 years older than me. He knew everything. And I was just this child that didn't know anything about the world. I was book smart, but I wasn't life smart, according to him. Now, here's the funny thing about abusive relationships that I've since learned is that when you have that, or even people in your life who tell you that you're not who you feel inside that you're supposed to be, it's more about them than it is about you. They can actually see your power and they're afraid of it. And they want you to be exactly like them. So they don't want you to see that growth and potential inside you. They don't want you to see that you could actually build a business or go beyond them. They want you to stay exactly where you are because they're not ready to go beyond where they are. They don't want to grow. So when you're in that environment and you're thinking to yourself, I should just be like everybody else. That's a mindset I needed to change immediately. It's like, no, I can't be like everybody else. It's not, I should be like everybody else. There is something inside me. It is impossible for me to be like everybody else. It's the same with birth for me. Everybody tells you, oh, you should just get the epidural. Oh, you should just go to the hospital. You should just give in. You should just do what the doctor tells you. For me, none of that felt right. My first baby, I wanted to have a home birth and I didn't want anybody to touch me. I didn't want to do a lot of tests. And everybody around me was telling me I was a selfish, horrible mother because I couldn't just do what was best for my baby. That's the implication. You see it on the mom forums all the time. And the same thing when I wanted to build a business. I was a lot younger before I met my partner. I wanted a business. I wanted to work from home. Everybody's like, why can't you just be like everybody else and go get a job? Why can't you be like everybody else and just do what you're told? Why can't you just stop making waves? And I'm just going to say this, we're actually meant to be here because we have a gift inside of us. We have a light inside of us that we need to shine. And being in that environment, they're constantly trying to put out your light. You have to be the one to go deep in and say to yourself, I have this light. Where I'm at right now, they may try to put it out, but I am not going to let that light go out. And this is where I was in a really dark place, even just before I had to leave my partner the first time. So I was in this dark place of I should just give up. I should just go through the motions and I should just give up. I should just do what he wants me to do. He wants me to be a housewife. He wants me to just give up on my dreams and my business and just clean the house, be there for him when he comes home, make sure the kids are well behaved, and just be the Stepford wife. That's what he wanted. I was not a Stepford wife. I was someone who had passion for helping others, who, if I would go on a Facebook forum or in a mom group, I would see someone in pain and I could not leave them. I would reach out because I just knew it's like, if I tell you this thing, you're going to have this light. So I was giving my light to everybody else and I wasn't giving the light to myself. And one day it's like, I had to vision myself as like, what if I'm not here? Like if you're in a very dark version of It's a Wonderful Life, even darker than it already is. That was basically me. It's like, I need to just give up. I need to become the Stepford wife. I need to just do what I'm told and just stand for my kids' dreams and just give up everything that I have because it's all just about my kids and it's all about my partner and it's not about me. Everybody told me and my family, you're a mom now. You don't get to have your dreams. You can do that after your kids are raised. But first, you need to raise your kids. So put off your dreams until after those kids are raised. Put off your business, all of that, until after your kids are raised. You can't do both. So that's the messages I had.
Yeah.
And finally, I imagined, what if I just stop helping moms? If I don't write those books, if I don't go out there and help, and I just give up. And I pictured every single mom that I'd helped not getting that help, getting those traumatic births, being
Yeah.
told over and over they weren't allowed, and giving up. And this was like a deeper version than what I had when I took my own power back in my birth. And there was just this moment where I'm like, no, this is bigger than me. This is so much bigger than me. My impact in this world matters. I matter. My light matters. I can't let my light go out because my light is so beautiful and brilliant and it helps so many people. And so I just started shining my light. And it was a threat to those around me who wanted to keep me down. But at the same time, I loved myself so much, because that's the other thing, is you have to love yourself more than other people.
Yeah.
So if others can't love you the way you need, you have to be okay with that and be like, you know what? This is where you're at. I love you. I love myself. I don't have to listen to this nastiness. I can still love and support you. I don't have to cut you out of my life, but I can step back and I can go over here and I can go and find those people who aren't afraid and aren't intimidated. And that's why I have these high level people now, because one of my 5 pillars of empowerment that I use for birth and also in aspects of my life is the right support. So I actually I have a 5-pillar system. First, of course, I talked about it's the mindset. You need that right mindset. You need to believe in you. You need to be able to bet on yourself. You need to be able to work through all of your fears, all of your insecurities, see where they came from. You need to be able to say, you know, that's not my story. This is what I do with a lot of the women in the birth community too, is I work through those stories of my body's broken, it doesn't work, I didn't dilate, I don't go into labor on my own, they're just going to push me into this and I have no choice. I show them they actually have a choice. Basically, I give them that power so that they can shift their mindset and be like, no, I don't care what you guys say. I believe in me. And if there's a problem that comes up, I'll deal with it. But I am not going to just go this route just because you say I have to. And this is the same thing for your mindset is so powerful, because everybody else is like, you know, I don't see your vision. But if you see your vision, you believe in your vision, and it's bigger than you, then that allows you to go and get the other 5 pillars, which is the right education. I learned marketing. I learned how to do this just like I learned birth. The right environment. I surround myself with people and I keep my home in a way that I feel good about myself. And then you go and get the right facilitators, the mentors, the teachers, the instructors, the coaches in your life. You find those people who truly believe in you, not the ones that just tell you, oh, I have 20 years of experience and you know nothing, but the ones that truly will help you because they have been there, they understand your struggle, they believe in you, and they are pushing you into greatness.
Yes.
And the right support, you've got to have those family and friends around you. So I noticed as I was building this, my partner that I had to leave him. It didn't matter how much he'd changed. If he was suddenly nice, he still wasn't the one that would be able to propel me to where I needed to be. He couldn't stand beside me while I was doing all the speaking. He'd be in the sidelines, constantly resenting me. And I'm like, no, I need someone beside me who can also speak, who is comfortable, who is able to be a thought leader beside me. So I can't get that where I'm at. And I'm okay with waiting.
Yeah.
There's no more, I don't know if I'm going to find anybody. No, he's out there. And I've had confirmation. I've got some really amazing male friends. Like I've got confirmation. He is out there. There is one of those guys who is going to come in and he is going to stand beside me. It's going to be beautiful when it happens. And I'm okay with waiting. And everybody's like, you need to go out there and you need to start dating. All my friends and family who don't get it, they're like, well, you know, it's been 2 years. It's like, no, because you need to have the right partner.
Yep.
Because if you don't have the right partner, if they can't step into that greatness for you for themselves, you're not going to be able to get as big as you need to get. So then it makes it okay for you to leave that relationship and still lovingly do it and not have any regrets. And not be like, I don't know if I'm ever going to find anyone again, so I need to hang on. There's no more hanging on. Same with your friends. I don't know if I can stop hanging out with these people. I mean, yeah, they drag me down, but then I'll be alone. No, you won't, because you'll find those people. They'll just come into your life. It attracts.
Yeah.
I have like so many people that I connect with now. Whereas before I used to be very alone because I was just clinging just to not be afraid. But now I just love myself. So that's the most important one. I know it's cliche to love yourself, but it's really true. You have to truly see your light and realize that it's important and that you just can't let go of that. You can't let it die.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's so important too, because like you said, the inner light, it's kind of like a flame. If you don't feed it, it will eventually just go out, and you don't want that to happen. And then it's a lot harder to get it relit. So I think that's beautiful. And the fact that you were able to do that before it did go out and you had to reignite it, because you figure you're raising your kids for at least 18 years, if not more, if you have multiple kiddos, right? So that's a long time to put your dreams on hold. And I think that's such a hard thing. I think that's why a lot of people end up not following their dreams after that, because it has been so long. They're like, I don't even know now. Do I still have that same passion? Is it there? And how do you reignite that? So I do think that's so important. I love that aspect, and seeing that perspective of the inner light. I think you actually answered this during your spiel there, but what do you think it is about entrepreneurs? And again, I think you answered this, but I just want to hear it in your own words. What do you think it is about entrepreneurs that makes us continue throughout those challenges without giving up when the times get tough, or when people are trying to put out that inner light and saying, no, just do the 9 to 5, just do the thing, just fit into your role and be good. What do you think it is about entrepreneurs that makes us kind of fight that and just go, no, we've got this. We're going to do this.
Well, there's two different kinds of entrepreneurs that I've seen. There's the ones that just want the results quick. They're like, I just want to get out of my 9 to 5 and I just want to make money and have the freedom. And it'll be so awesome when I have that freedom. But they don't have that connection to their actual message. They haven't seen the impact that they can make for people yet. And it's just that surface level. Once I make it, everything will be okay. That's the same thing. Once he loves me, everything will be okay. Once I get this, everything will be okay. It will never be enough, because if you get to that level, even miraculously, if you do all of the things right and you actually do end up making money within the year and your business explodes, if it's not tied to your dharmic imperative, as one of my mentors and friends, Annie Lala, says, if it's not that inner light and feeling, it's like when you do that thing, everything just transforms. You're not going to be able to be happy with it. It's just going to be working your business. It doesn't matter how much money you make, there's just something missing. The
Yeah.
other kind of entrepreneur is the one that we just want to do this. We just want to get that message out there.
Yep.
And we will do whatever it takes to get that message out there. We will put in the work. So even if we don't see the results after the first year or the second year, it trickles in. You get a few clients and then you have no clients. And then you're finding those people, you have those case stories, but it's like you're not making the money that you thought you would make. And your family's like, I thought that this was going to be successful, and you're still at this and you have nothing to show for it. You have to really be connected to that, because I'm just going to say this: marketing, when you don't understand your audience, is really, really hard.
Yeah.
And yes, there is a lot of stuff on the internet that will tell you how to build a business. However, there is a reason why a lot of people don't get it off the ground. And I have seen from the coaches that I've connected with, the ones that are truly connected to their message, it's like, I know you can do this. It's going to be a lot of crying in the shower moments.
Yeah.
And even at the higher levels, I've seen this with my mentors. It's like, look, like they have had moments where they will cry in the shower. Those will never go away. However, when you are connected to your message, you just keep going. It's not like, oh, I have enough now and I can stop. It's like, no, like this is an impact I'm making. So a lot of people, they're like, oh, well, they see this outward success in these entrepreneurs that are making 7, 8, 9 figures. They're like, oh, well, they've made it, so they don't really have to do this anymore. But they're connected to it because there is something greater going on. That's why I talked about that vision. You need to have that vision. So yes, it is incredibly lonely being an entrepreneur if you are not connected to others who are entrepreneurs.
Yep.
Please, I'm just going to tell you this. You need to have those 5 pillars if you're going to build your business. You need all 5 or it's not going to work. You need to have that mindset. That's important. You need that inner game, figure it out. If you don't have that strategy, find it. It's out there. It's literally out there. Someone will help you with your mindset. And then you also need the right education. You need to know how to do this. You need the right environment. Make sure you're in an environment where you can thrive, take care of your health, your fitness, get those mentors for support, and build a new friendship base because your old friends are not going to understand.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, well, oh, you're making money now. No, I'm still, oh, so you're not right where you think you should be. So when is this going to happen? And like, it's like, no, dude, you don't understand. Like, this is my dharma. This is what I'm meant to do.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
I
That's
think that's
probably
great.
the
I
most
love the
powerful.
5 pillars because I think that's perfect. I mean, coming from a content background, you always have to have your content pillars. So I think it's really important to have that established for your business. I think that's beautiful. I've never really thought about it in that sense. But so to round this out a little bit, what takeaway overall lesson would you say that other mompreneurs would be able to use from your experience?
Well, the best one is do not go this alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
As moms, we have this mentality and it's been ingrained in us that we just have to figure it out on our own. We can't invest in ourselves. And I'm going to tell you right now, you need to invest in yourself. We can't put time into things away from our children. I'm telling you, you can actually do that. You can build your business while also raising your kids. You don't have to put your dreams on the shelf. And if you are having troubles, if you're struggling, if there's people in your life that don't get it, you need to seek out those women who do get it. Because once you have that, once you have friends who are also building their businesses or mentors who are higher than you, you're able to see the path. You're able to keep going. I did not do this alone.
Yep.
Because I knew that if I tried to do it alone, I would be crying in the shower every single day.
Absolutely. Oh, that's so true. I think that's really the biggest change because I started almost 9 years ago and same thing. You start out on your own and you're like, I can do this. I'm a one-woman show. But the minute you start having other people that you either look up to or that can just help when you're venting and you're like, what do I do? And they can help brainstorm with you. It's pivotal. It makes such a big difference. And in that sense, what's the best way for others to find you if they would like to learn more about you or work with you?
So if you are looking in the birth realm, because I actually have several different ways you can work with me. I am an empowerment coach. I help women who get out of abusive relationships and want to build businesses for themselves. I help women entrepreneurs as well. I do have a mastermind around that. It's quite exclusive. However, those are just side things that I do. My main business, of course, is empowering moms. So I help mothers who want to plan natural births. You can go to my website, empoweringmomsbirth.com. You can sign up for my email newsletter. You can contact me, Carly at empoweringmomsbirth.com, and I will reach out to you. You can also find me on Facebook if you're really looking for me, because I'll talk to you there too.
That's fantastic. I'll also include the links in the description, of course, but that way, in case they're just listening, they can hear it and have it on hand as well. So thank you, Carly, so much for joining us today. I am so blessed to have you here with us. That was an amazing story. I could talk to you probably all day. I think it's a wonderful story to hear. My dad was an alcoholic abuser. So like seeing how you got yourself out of that and then knowing my mom got herself out of it before it was too late is it's a beautiful thing and I very much connect with that. So thank you so much. Your story is inspirational and your willingness to be open about it is very much appreciated and needed in this space. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yes,
It's been an incredible journey, and I hope this helps a lot of moms.
I know it will for sure. And for those of you out there who are facing your own adversity, know that you're not alone. That's the whole point of all of this, is to know that you are not alone in your journey. When you need an extra hand or a mind for brainstorming during your mompreneur journey, we would also love to work with you through the Mom Elevated Society. You'll find monthly check-ins and for goal setting and assessing, and so much more for both your business and your mom life. And until next time, keep shooting for the stars.